Hey Paula and Philadelphia cream cheese, it's Brittany Griffin again from Mississippi, and I'm at my mom's house tonight because we're cooking one of our family favorites, which we like to call confetti chicken wraps. So what I have is a half a stick of butter going in a pan back here, and to that I'm going to add 2/3 a cup green bell pepper finely diced, 2/3 a cup yellow bell pepper finely diced, and 2/3 a cup red bell pepper finely diced. So we're going to get those in. Get those sauteing. And I'm also going to add 1/2 of a red onion that I finely diced as well. And to this we're also going to add 1 clove of garlic that I finely chopped or finely minced. And we are also going to add 1/2 a cup of dried chives. And I think it's better to use the dried chives because fresh chives probably wouldn't hold up quite as well against this heat. So what we're going to do is add those in. And it's such a beautiful color already. And we just want to saute all of these until they become translucent. So it takes about 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so now that our peppers and onion mixture has gotten translucent, we are going to add our next few ingredients. So we're going to first add, I have 1 pound of chicken breast that I baked in the oven. You could also use a rotisserie chicken, or you could poach your chicken, whatever you prefer. But I just seasoned it with a little salt and pepper, baked it at about 350 for about 30 minutes or until it was no longer pink, and then I diced it up pretty fine. So we're going to add that in. And then we are going to add our cream cheese. So I've got 1/2 a block, which I've diced up a little bit just to make it easier to mix in. And we're also going to add just 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. And I use the full fat cream cheese, but you could certainly use the reduced fat if you wanted to. And then to this, to season it, because you probably noticed I haven't used any salt and pepper yet, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of Tony's Cajun seasoning. My family, we like it hot, so if you don't like things spicy, you might want to just use 1 tablespoon of salt, but we like the heat. So I'm going to sprinkle that in and get all of this incorporated. Uh-oh. And then I'm also going to add just a small pinch of nutmeg. My mom always taught me that if you're cooking with some sort of cream, to add a pinch of nutmeg. So we're going to add a small pinch. And now that our cream cheese is nice and incorporated, you can see how creamy and yummy that looks. Look how creamy it made that mixture. So delicious. We're going to turn off the heat. And now we're going to move this over to the counter. And we're going to start incorporating our rice. So we're going to move this over here. Be careful because the pot is a little hot. And I cook down 2 cups of medium grain rice. It's important to use the medium grain. Cook that down in about 4 cups of chicken stock. And it takes about 20 minutes. So, and you may not need all of this. As you can see, it fluffs up to a pretty good bit of rice. But we're just going to kind of eyeball it and see what we think. You want it to be pretty thick, but not so thick that it's, gets gummy. So we're going to add in a little bit first and see what that looks like. This is such a fun recipe, and honestly, if you look at this, this looks like a meal in itself right here. You've got your starch and your protein and your vegetables. But in the South, we like to fry things. So we are going to make these little wraps and fry them up. So you see how that is. You could continue adding this rice. What you want it to look like is this right here. You want it to look like this. I already have 1 batch that I made a little bit earlier. And what you're going to do is, I bought the large wonton wrappers. You could certainly do this as an appetizer. and get the smaller wontons and then just fold them over once. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna move this so you can see me. I have 1 egg that I've beaten right here. And I'm gonna use my pastry brush, and I'm just gonna brush the egg wash on the corners of this wonton wrapper. And when we're making this as a main dish, we use the larger wraps. And then you want to add about 2 or 3 tablespoons right down the center. It smells delicious. Okay, so we have about 2 or 3 tablespoons that you want to pile up in the center. And then what you're going to do is take this, take a corner of your wonton wrapper and kind of tuck it in. And then you want to fold these over right here, the 2 other ends. That way all of that yummy goodness stays in the wrapper and doesn't end up in your fryer. And then just fold it over. And it's that simple. So now we're going to get to frying. So take this, I use 2 cups, actually I'm sorry, I used 4 cups. I doubled what we usually use about 2 cups, but I used a bigger pot today, so I used about 4 cups. And I keep a thermometer going so that I can watch it and make sure that it doesn't get too hot. I like to keep it around 350 degrees. And I use one of these little handy dandy spiders, that way I don't have to get too close to that hot oil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and drop it down in the oil, and you want to let it brown for about 60 to 70 seconds. Okay, so after about 60 or 70 seconds, this is what your confetti chicken wrap is going to look like. So we're going to take it out of the fryer. We're going to transfer it over to this plate that I have paper towels. I'm lined it with paper towels, that way it can drain a little bit of that excess oil off. And you want these to drain for about 2 to 3 minutes. Give it a little time to cool off so that when you cut into it, it doesn't ooze out everywhere. Tonight we are eating the confetti chicken wraps with a corn and black bean salad that we like. So the way we like to plate it up is take a few spoonfuls of the corn and black bean salad, which smells delicious by the way. Let's take a few spoonfuls of that. And then these are the ones that have cooled over here, so I'm going to grab those. And you want to slice it on a diagonal. And we usually serve about 2 of these per person. And it's easiest to me to use a serrated knife for this. It just cuts through easier. And then look how beautiful they turn out. And then what we do is just kind of lay them on top, so you can see all that yummy goodness. And then we always usually serve these with some sort of dip. Tonight we just melted a little bit of cream cheese and added in a few tablespoons of pepper jelly. But when I post this recipe, I'll be sure to add a few of the other dips that our family likes. There's an avocado dip, and you could even do like a salsa ranch type dip. Those would all be delicious. But we did the cream cheese and pepper jelly tonight, so I'm going to serve myself up a little bit of that. You can hear our puppies barking. They know it's dinner time. Okay. Now, I know I said we're having this for dinner, and my family's not quite here yet, but I'm going to sneak a little bite just to make sure it tastes okay. I'm going to get a little dip of this. It's so yummy. Oh my gosh. That cream cheese makes it so flavorful and creamy. Oh, it's wonderful. I cannot wait for y'all to go try these recipes. I am now headed to finish plating up all this and get ready for my family so that we can enjoy dinner. I hope everyone has a great week, and I will see you next week.